One of the things that I've noticed recently about Fox News is that the more dangerous they get, the weirder they get. And I guess that's some sort of direct relationship when it comes to Fox and Trump and MAGA. I'll show you all of this because as Donald Trump just has these more and more bizarre appearances, they have to just continue to ramp up their propaganda with the most bizarre lies, the weirdest coverage you've ever seen in your life. My name is Brett Meiselas here with the MeidasTouch Network. Remember to hit subscribe. Help us get to 3.5 million subscribers. We are getting there. We're getting thousands of subscribers a day. Thanks to you. Let's keep that momentum going. Okay, let me dive into some of Fox's programming yesterday. Here was Judge Jeanine, who was saying how Trump is relatable and cool and has swagger. Watch this.
There's Donald Trump. You just saw him. I mean, he's relatable. He's seen as cool, and he has a swagger.
Was it swagger when Donald Trump said this at the Detroit Economic Forum yesterday about immigrants? Watch this.
We allowed them to come in and raid and rape our country. That's what they did. Oh, he used the word rape. That's right. I used the word rape. They raped our country.
And one of the things I've noticed with Trump and MAGA and Fox is that they focus heavily on this idea of masculinity, of their idea of masculinity, which they view as Donald Trump. And they push this idea of masculinity nonstop every day, drilling this into people. They've had success at reaching out to especially young men with this sort of messaging. And I'll show you just how insane it is and how it actually is the opposite of what being a man means. Let me show you Judge Jeanine and she says to Jessica Tarlov, who's the one pro-democracy voice on Fox. She says to Jessica, I dare you to poll Trump and Vance versus Emhoff and Walz on masculinity. Listen to what Jessica Tarlov says.
This whole idea, she's trying to get men back by saying that Emhoff and Walz, that's true masculinity. I dare you to take a poll and put together Donald Trump and J.D. Vance against Emhoff and Walz and ask who's going to win in terms of masculinity. They even have to redefine it. Americans aren't feeling it.
I don't think you want that competition. He has beautiful eyelashes, but J.D. Vance looks like he's wearing eyeliner most of the time.
But he's not.
How dare you?
How dare you? I know, and maybe the couch story was real.
And you know what? Walz said he was carried weapons of war. He was in Bagram. You want to talk about it?
Donald Trump of working class fame on his golden toilet. Let's not do this again. So
I love that response. And did you see former President Barack Obama yesterday? He was speaking in Pittsburgh to a group of people at the Harris-Walz offices there in Pittsburgh. And he spoke about this idea of what it means to be a man and what real strength actually looks like. I found this very powerful. Take a look.
You're thinking about sitting down or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is? Putting women down? That's not acceptable.
That's a powerful message. Those are powerful words and they resonate, you know? Let's go back to Fantasy World on Fox with Judge Jeanine, who's speaking about Tim Walz had done a Twitch stream on a World of Warcraft game. Here's what Judge Jeanine had to say about that.
And I mean, it's not even close. So you got this World of Warcraft video game that's 20 years old, and it's not even, by the way, in the top 15 games now. And
you did a deep dive.
Gotta have Walz, who doesn't even go to war. He ditches the battalion before war and can't even make believe he's playing in a war.
It's just clown stuff over and over and over. No offense to clowns. Here's Judge Jeanine making up lies about Democrats, speaking about third-term abortions and how there's so much crime in the country, and she gets fact-checked by the great Jessica Tarlov. Watch this.
Out of the womb.
No, but
the reality is often when you're talking about, some of these third-term abortions, it's about
that's not the reality. That's what you want to tell people the reality.
Well, no,
the reality
that is a reality in some states. But the bottom line is Donald Trump is protecting women in terms of law and order. Are you kidding me?
Law and order.
As the criminals run through this country and they're bailed out because people like Kamala Harris made a decision that we should bail everybody out.
You just said that, okay, women are overwhelmingly Democrat. There are more women voters, right? You guys you can vote for abortion. Go for it. No one's stopping you.
Tarlov continuing to bring the truth on Fox. The only person who seemingly brings the truth on Fox was speaking about J.D. Vance's rally, where they had auto workers for Trump shirts on people in the crowd who are not actually auto workers. Everything with Trump is a scam. Here's Jessica.
But this Michigan thing, and obviously we desperately need to win Michigan, but on the ground, I don't see this. On Tuesday, J.D. Vance had a rally there, and there were guys wearing auto workers for Trump shirts that weren't actually auto workers. So just paid to wear the T-shirt there. When there was the auto workers strike, Joe Biden on the picket line, Donald Trump had a rally that he said was in support of the unions, but was at a non-union plant because the union workers didn't want him there with him. So,
and then this whole network is it's just a game, right? It's one big kind of, they're cosplaying as newscasters. They got the sets, they got the graphics, but nothing that you're hearing is news. It's all BS every single day, and they're able to fool a lot of people. And the people who come on the shows go along with this farce, like Kevin O'Leary, businessman Kevin O'Leary. When he's speaking with Jesse Waters, he goes, real reporters like you should be interviewing Kamala Harris. Real reporters like Jesse Waters? Watch this.
You think she doesn't do that?
There's two types of interviews she's doing. She's doing the sugar interviews with celebrities, that like her. And I get that. But there's no protein on the other side. You got to do sugar and protein. Protein are live interviews with real reporters like you and many others.
Here's an example of Jesse Waters' real reporting with Stephen Miller. I hope you didn't eat before I played this clip.
We just have to address the elephant in the room. We're getting a lot of texts from women about Miller and his appearances and his appearance. Our audience at primetime believes you're some sort of sexual matador. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, let me give advice to any young man that's out there. I'm married now, I have children, but I wasn't married that long ago. I was single, I was in the market. If you're a young man, it's very important in election season, who's looking to impress ladies, to be the alpha, to be attractive. The best thing you can do is to wear your Trump support on your sleeve. Show that you are a real man. Show that you are not a beta, right? Be a proud and loud Trump supporter, and your dating life will be fantastic.
I cannot wait to see the text tonight.
Here's a great moment from Jessica Tarlov speaking about Donald Trump's plan, where he keeps doubling down on that it was good for him to get rid of Roe and how that's going to play with women across America. Take a look.
I hope so. They're definitely trying. It's top of mind with all of this. And I do appreciate the explanation of World of Warcraft. But the point was being on a Twitch stream where a majority of young men are spending their time. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Donald Trump also on a Twitch stream before we go to vote on November 5th. It's smart to go where the peoples are. Outreach, especially to Black men, is something that they're focused on. Things like barbershop tours, doing a lot of focus grouping in these blue wall states to talk to young men about what their lives are like, what their priorities are, the economy coming up over and over again, wanting to know specifically what is the deliverable. What did you do for me as part of the Biden-Harris administration? What will be different in the Harris-Walz administration? But I find it difficult to sit for all of these discussions about how the Democrats are blowing it with men and this is irredeemable and, we're terrible and we belittle, et cetera, when the gender gap on the other side with women is bigger than the gap with men. So Donald Trump is losing to Kamala Harris with women 15 to 20 points, which is bigger than the margins of any Republicans have before. And I don't hear the Republican tour about women. I just hear him even on with Andrew Schultz, doubling down on, it was good to get rid of Roe. That's no problem. I mean, Andrew Schultz set him up perfectly with a hilarious joke about how Barron is such a stud and bet you're feeling bad about getting rid of Roe v. Wade. Mm-hmm. And Trump can't even nail it because it's so ludicrous that he's a, quote, protector of women. That's the outreach to these women who are saying the Republican Party has abandoned us. They do not care about our needs. They do not understand our health. They do not understand our health care issues. They don't understand family planning. They don't even know how it works. You don't even have a heartbeat at 6 weeks.
It's hard for men to hear abortion described as family planning.
Really? Would it be hard? Because we are talking about women.
Let me finish. Because Whenever you have to rely on a euphemism to describe the reality itself is awful. That's all I'm saying.
But
Call it what it is. You're sucking a fetus out of the womb.
No, but
The reality is often.
All right, are you ready for this fact? Traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat. It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses. It's just gross. Miracle Made, however, offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. It's why I use Miracle Made on my bedding. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather, so you get a better sleep every single night. It's why I love Miracle Sheets. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to trymiracle.com/Meidas. Trymiracle.com/Meidas and try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save up to 40%. And if you use our promo code Meidas at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Meidas and use the code Meidas to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Meidas to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode.
Part of the problem is that Donald Trump has captured a smaller portion of people in this country, but he's really riled up this group and made it so they will not leave his side no matter what. So we've always wondered, what are these like real diehard people? What do they believe, right? And what are they going to support? Would they support America over our adversaries if it came down to that? You know what? Let's ask them. So we sent Adam Mockler. By the way, go ahead and subscribe to Adam Mockler's channel on YouTube. He does an incredible job. He is our Gen Z correspondent here at MeidasTouch. Adam Mockler went to a recent Trump rally and spoke with a Trump supporter and spoke with multiple Trump supporters and asked them a very simple question. Would you rather vote for Vladimir Putin or Kamala Harris? I don't think you're going to be shocked at their answers, unfortunately. Watch.
You either have to vote for Kamala or Putin. Who do you choose?
Oh, definitely Putin.
Putin.
Really? Why?
Absolutely. He's for his people. He is for his people.
Would you rather vote for VP Harris or Vladimir Putin if you had to choose?
I would actually vote for Putin if I had to, for the simple reason, if you understand Marxism and communism, you can work within it.
Yeah, Putin's values on family and on traditions and, protecting children. It almost sounds like, I'm not a pro-Putin guy.
So you think the country would be better off under a rule like a Kim Jong-un or somebody or Vladimir Putin?
Hey, I love Russia.
You do? Why?
Yeah, it's beautiful. The people are wonderful.
I'm not a fan of Putin, but Kamala is for communism and taking our whole entire...
It's going to be a tough one, but what's your definition of communism? I just want to know.
I believe, it starts off great. I see how people can be attracted to it, like, oh, everybody's even.
And Russia has always been the antithesis of what America stands for. I mean, Russia hates the West. They want to undermine our values. So what does Kamala Harris do that makes her worse than Putin? Genuine question.
Because she's a socialist.
It's almost like a trap. Once they get you trapped, you become one of their drones, and it leads to totalitarianism.
So it's people like that Fox is trying to appeal to. That's part of their play. They understand that their audience's minds can be malleable and that they'll listen to this ridiculous messaging. So here's Jesse Waters again going off about masculinity and saying that women shouldn't love Tim Walz because he's not masculine, because he drinks with a straw. Watch this.
Women love masculinity and women do not love Tim Walz. So that should just tell you about how masculine Tim Walz is. The other day, you saw him with a vanilla ice cream shake. Had a straw in it.
Oh.
Again, that tells you everything. Judge Janine.
And Jesse Waters in particular is like obsessed with the subject. Here's him talking about it again.
The Emhoff is answering questions like he's a real man. We don't need to redefine masculinity, just like we don't need to redefine what a woman is.
Mm-hmm.
Masculinity is setting boundaries, tolerating risk, protecting people you love, not letting cities burn all around you, protecting your sovereignty, learning how to say no. Those are kind of masculine concepts that go back all the way to ancient civilization. If you're redefining that, that means you're not that.
All right, Greg.
And then what happens is this becomes a talking point on all of the various MAGA propaganda networks. Like here is RSBN speaking about Tim Walz using the same talking points. Check this out.
And look at Tim Walz. He's the face of the Democrat Party right now, right? Representing the men over there. And he's truly not representing the masculine men in America. He seems pretty low testosterone. And these young kids they're not having it. They want to keep the traditional masculinity strong in America, and we need that more than ever, because if masculine men don't stand up, then the country falls.
Is this representing the men of America? Watch this.
This is a catastrophe for the American dream and a dire crisis from commerce to labor to FEMA.
Well, I guess that explains the flies.
And all of New England, actually, he's a disaster. He's radical left. RFK Jr. is radical left. It reminds me of this fly that's driving me crazy up here. This fly is brutal. I don't like flies. Oh, there's a fly. Oh, I wonder where the fly came from. See, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have had a fly up here. You're changing rapidly, but we can't take it any longer. We can't take it any longer. A coal plant a week. I don't like flies. Get out of here, fly. Never been a big fan of flies. You don't mind my bringing that up, do you? Anyway, this is a very aggressive sucker, though. This one in particular is very aggressive. Like, I'm going to be aggressive for our country.
And nobody's as manly as this guy, Donald Trump, who yesterday kept whining about Obama over and over and over again, still complaining that he didn't get a Nobel Prize. This is pathetic. Watch this.
If I were named Obama, I would have had the Nobel Prize given in 10 seconds. He got the Nobel Prize. He didn't even know what the hell he got it for. Remember, he got elected. Well, so did I. He got elected and they announced he was getting the Nobel Prize. Remember, he said, "Oh, what did I do?" He didn't know what the hell he did. He got the Nobel Prize for doing nothing. For getting elected, but I got elected too. And, if I think of that, we did something, the Abraham Accords, unprecedented. Nobody thought it was possible. And I'm not saying want or not. I'm just saying if it was anybody else, liberal, Democrat, they would have had it before the damn thing was even signed, So there has to be fairness, and I don't care, but I'm not looking for it. I'm not politicking for it. I'm just saying that there's a lot of unfairness in this world, and I think...
So you see what they're doing, folks, right? You see how manipulative they are. You see how they are playing these constant games. But that's why I want to show you all these clips, because I think, honestly, at a certain point, anybody could be susceptible to it. But if you point out the propaganda, if you show people what they are doing, it helps. Also, it helps for you to know what a large portion of the country is consuming in terms of information. So if you ask, how are these polls close? These people are so wacky. It's because you have billions and billions and billions of dollars invested into companies like Fox and RSBN who are spreading this garbage day in and day out. So what do? Well, that's where you come in. That's where we come in here at the MeidasTouch Network. We are actually reaching more people than Fox reaches on digital. Let that sink in for a second. And that's all thanks to you. So here's what I want you to do. Hit subscribe. Help us get to 3.5 million subscribers. It really helps. Hit the like button, leave a comment, share these videos, and share this channel with a friend. Also, check out the new MeidasTouch Substack at MeidasPlus.com. It's a ad-free experience, a premium experience there where we post occasional videos and do articles, and Ron Filipkowski, our editor-in-chief, does a daily recap of the day's events. It's really fantastic. Check it out. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. I'll see you soon.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.